What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, taking a look at a deck that I've kind of been looking at, but I've changed it up and just doing some theory testing right now. So you've seen me play that water XYZ deck. It's really like a utopic water deck. And there's a lot of like good fish extenders, but they lock you into water monsters. So I thought, why not try to build a pure water deck, essentially? And the thing is like the deck has a lower floor, like by far, but a much higher ceiling. So it's kind of interesting to play, and you'll see a lot of it obviously in this gameplay video about some of the advantages and disadvantages. But like one of the big cards is Abyss Shark. If you control a fish monster, I think it's a water. If all the cards you control are water, which is awesome because this is so cool. So I'm gonna go into Bahamut Shark. Go into totally awesome. You would think I can't use Abyss Shark, right? It has to. All monsters you control have to be waters. Stealth Kragan turns everything into a water. So as of right now, this F-Zero is a water monster, meaning I can still go into all my plays, which is crazy. Now I'm waterlocked, but that's fine. And, you know, when you don't play number 99, it gives you access to stuff like this, N.A.S.H. Knight. I just think these cards are cool. That's really the only reason I built this deck. I was like, I'd kind of like to use N.A.S.H. Knight at some point, and I do. The reason I like this card, besides the fact that I think it's just cool, you get to, you know, grab something from your opponent as a quick effect, which is great. But when you're done using it, you can also go into N.A.S.H. Knight, which you get to use on top of this. So you get to use this as an interruption, and then you can use it again because it attaches something and then something from your extra deck. So you're detaching two, but getting two more materials. And then on top of that, you can go into N.A.S.H. Knight using it, and it helps you go into number one C103, Ragnafinity. So during either player's turn, you can detach materials from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between that monster's original attack and current defense. And most importantly, you banish it. So I think that your interruption turns into more interruption, right? Because you get two goes at it, which turns into another one. And I think that's a neat interaction, and really the only reason I started playing this deck. But another thing, Stealth Kragan, not a once per turn at all. Nothing on this card says once per turn. So if you have three Stealth Kragans on the board, you have 3 pops, which is not bad. All right, this is against Grand Maju, and he gets to go first. I think I make him go first. Pretty sure I remember playing this. It looks like he did side in for going first, too. Just like a rank 8 spam deck, essentially. Although, yeah, is he even playing Grand Maju? I forgot. Sometimes people just kind of play it as a generic blind second deck. Yeah, I don't think he does. I've seen this before. It's kind of interesting. And I can get why. Grand Maju is like so good and so bad. This just doesn't really do anything by itself. That's the problem. And I did make a misplay. So I tried to imperm Jagooblion, and it can't be targeted. I don't like to read. So it's the first line of text too. And so, but I still am able to recover like more than enough. White Mirror is crazy. It's such a crazy card. It's a big reason why this deck is insane. He's going to go for the Gizmek, which is fine. So I have F-Zero, Double Toad, and Stealth Kraken. I was able to get rid of his Hope Harbinger very easily. He does have a Kaiju there, but the thing about my interruption is, and I got rid of his Jagooblion early on because I'm sure he had plenty of other number targets to go into. But the thing is, like, if you get rid of my interruption or I use it, it gives me advantage. So me interrupting you, it gives me play starters back. It's crazy. He does go for interrupted Kaiju Slumber, but I just have so much follow-up. And that's really the best reason why this deck is, I don't know if it's better, but a big advantage of this deck is that I have a lot of plays. Like, there are times in that Water XYZ deck where I will go through every card in my extra deck, like maybe other than like 2 when I go full combo. In this case, yes, my end boards aren't as crazy, but I still have something to do like past turn 3, which is very, very relevant. Lifeless Leaf Fish can help, you know, recycle things back into the deck, and it's unfortunate to see all these names, but I just, you know, I can't do anything because I already used my normal summon. I think fish are maybe 1 or 2 cards away from really pushing it to the limit. Yeah, that top deck Lightning Storm after he goes in for the attack. That's crazy. And now I just got to go full combo. Requiem is not a once per turn either, by the way. But if there's there needs to be a fish that has an effect in the graveyard. Now there's Crystal Shark, but it's It's a level 5, something that is searchable off of Buzzsaw or something that you can bring out from the deck, using Buzzsaw. That would make a big difference. It'd be crazy, actually. This is against Blackwings, and I think he has an interruption, and like the end board's not great, but like through only having to deal with 5 cards, and I'm gonna have 3 interruptions, and like I said, N.A.S.H Knight's a pretty good one, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything with my other build, so like my turn would have kind of just been stopped versus me having these extenders that help me go into more interruptions. And then again, my Totally Awesome gives me my plays back. So I still have N.A.S.H Knight and I still have Haunted Mansion, which is really good to be able to do that. Okay, now this one's kind of funny. Like I do play Pot of Desires and Crossout, which doesn't seem to make sense, but it hasn't been a problem for me since. And normally I don't start with Pot of Desires. It's like my opponent disrupts my plays and then I do the draw. I get draw 2. And I usually find extenders that way, meaning that, sometimes you don't even draw both of these together. It's like you're going to use this so early on, it's like they usually don't clash. And I've liked it so far, so even if it is a little awkward. Sometimes you get to legit just take, like with Utopic Future Dragon, you just take the cards. So I've had times where I've taken someone's rank 4 and I've used it in my deck, which is awesome. Because 4 is like a very common, level in Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously. This can't be destroyed by battle art or card effects. This card's crazy. It's very good. So I have a Monster Negate, an Omni Negate, and Crossout, but, I guess plays around Imperm. He's going to try to use Torrential Tribute, then he goes for Skill Drain, but yeah, my Totally Awesome doesn't activate on the field, and he's already down to, like, no life points anyways, so he can't do anything about it. This is against Naturia, and man, this duel took forever. The first one actually ended because he just had too much to do. This is the most boring deck, like, ever. I do not like to play against Naturia. It's just very monotonous, and they don't really do anything, I feel like. He did draw the one of Herald of Orange Light. Now, I'm curious, does he play the other ones that negate spells? That was the question. No. Because, like, you do want to get your Kelbacks and stuff into the graveyard. It's almost worth playing. Like, everybody plays spell cards, right? But he did go for Naturia Beast. And, the Imperm plus any other interruption is normally crazy. Because your opponent normally has, like, one answer for those kinds of cards, like Raigeki. So if you can negate it, yeah, it's pretty wild. Sending stuff to the graveyard is actually not bad because a White Mirror. Another advantage of this deck, by the way. And I don't know if I talked about it. Pot of Desires, I know it conflicts with Crossout, but the most important thing is I don't play the Rank Up Magic spell anymore, so I can play this card, and I'm just running like more consistency cards, and that's why I really like this version of the deck, even if it is like a little less powerful. I'm playing against Plunder Patrol, and if your opponent just has Change of Heart as their interruption, then yeah, they are not in a good place. So Stealth Kragan, Requiem can come out. I meant to put this in attack position because it's just like a really small body. And Lightning Storm doesn't really do anything. And I even have Ash and Nibiru in my hand. So this is just awesome because these two interruptions are going to give me more, just like, it gives me Requiem and Buzzsaw Shark back with a bunch of fish. Like, yeah, your opponent's definitely just going to scoop right there. This is a random zombie deck. And, you know, when you're playing other decks, like trap decks and stuff, you just take out your cross-out designators. Because my always thought is, like, the best chance for you to win is always going to be if you're going first. So you have to assume you're going first every time. Because that's just going to give you the best win rate, you know? You don't want to just, like, have this half in, half out deck. I'd rather just start with cross-out designator and be like, well, I lost the dice roll, and that's fine. Yeah, even N.A.S.H is going to come in very clutch here. And then look at my hand. Oh, and I saved this duel because it's so annoying. Like, look how much gas is in my hand. But this stupid card, Vendread Reorigin, tributes my card, so I don't control any water monsters anymore. So these cards are kind of useless. It's so frustrating. He can only special summon and normal summon Vendread monsters while it's on the field. And he's going to get the trap back. So it's like, what do I do? I'm going to try to use the effect again. He's going to use the trap again. But this time, like, I have EDOPro, thank goodness. So I think he's going to try to bring it back, and he can't do anything. He's going to try to grab that trap. EDOPro comes in. Normally it's a cross out target, but you draw it, right? It's interruption. That's always kind of been the idea behind, cross out designator. There's still hand traps. Lifeless Leaffish now can get my plays going. Crystal Shark, and then now it's just like the gates are opening up for my combo. Finally, losing to one trap is so depressing. Bahamut Shark, totally awesome, and then I can bring out Abyss Shark now. Searching out like a Requiem, which is awesome. I can grab onto this, pop one of his monsters. I think he's gonna try to save it with Al Ghul, which is fine. And I do have 2 interruptions for his 2 cards, which is going to be fine, plus a lot of follow-up. Fortunately, I set myself up, really weirdly. And I guess I just didn't really have the zones anyways, but I couldn't use Remora, and I think I tried to in that duel. So that was just kind of iffy. He has Sphere Mode. There can be only one. Not the worst thing in the world. And I think I brick here, but it ends up working out because he's got Sphere Mode. And sometimes that's enough. If your opponent's big going second card is Super Poly and they can't use it, that can bode very well for you. He's going to search out the Runic spell, and then he's going to negate the effects of this. I'm going to pop his monster. Might as well. And I still have Crossout Designator here. He's going to try to use the effect of the field spell. And this deck is so weak, to interruption. Ash Blossom just destroys this deck, and they can't really do anything. But so their Chameleon 1 is not going to let me bring any of these out, but I do still have Zeus, and I can just kind of pop his board, and then special summon Abyss Shark, whatever the case may be. It's unfortunate that N.A.S.H Knight doesn't attach any face-up card. The card would be so much better if it did. But look how weird this hand is, but it's still pretty good. Just being able to have Beautiful Princess. Now he's playing... I hate this name. Kshatri Law. He's playing the Kshat. Oh, okay. So they're calling it Kashtira. All right. The translation nightmare continues. And I'm protected here. I figured he doesn't have Dark Ruler, so I might as well use Crossout Designator there. So he can't, cheaply take away any of my interruption. I guess I could have taken Imperm, but it's fine. I'd rather use the Omnigate for something more important. He does get over my totally awesome, but I get to just keep adding cards to my hand. I'm going to go ahead and take this because the field spell lets him, I think, have another normal summon of his monsters, and I think it searches too, which is kind of crazy. But that Parallel Exceed is just doing nothing in hand right now. This is against Sprite, whatever they call it. And a free Shinthana there. Normally that's ZS, but it's just now I have that slot for a consistency card. And I can bring out Lifeless Leaffish. Again, I wish there was something good to bring back from the graveyard. There just really kind of isn't right now. If Crystal Shark was a 4, it'd be crazy. Very consistent openings, in this version. So that's what I guess I like about it the most. I mean, this is great, right? 2 Omnis, a good monster negate, and a pop. That's about all you can ask for. He's going to use Connector. I'm going to go ahead and take it. It's a level 4, which is very important for me. And he's going to try to use Sprint. This has to banish a 2 from field, so if he doesn't have it, this card just dies. And then Totally Awesome gives me Buzzsaw Shark back, and he's got a scoop. So these end boards are no joke. It's pretty much, I'm not saying it's impossible to break through. It's assuming your opponent doesn't have Dark Ruler. If they try to use Gas, to get through, it's probably not going to work out too well for them. Again, this card's that's pretty good, right? It's definitely not half bad. And then N.A.S.H, and then, giving myself follow-up for next turn, right? There's pressure with Bahamut Shark. And again, this is that lower ceiling that I was talking about, so is this worth it? Probably. It probably is. He's going to try to use Unizombie. I'm going to try to attach. He tries to dodge it, but it's kind of just useless at that point, so we can't really do anything here. I think he gets to pop 2 cards, which is fine. But again, I have all this follow-up, and I still have Totally Awesome too. Another advantage of the deck. You just get so many more slots for just normal cards. Lantern can go ahead and special summon out. I still haven't used Abyss Shark yet. More generics like Tornado Dragon, and then I haven't even started yet. My plays are just going. And I think I messed this up. I couldn't use Abyss Shark. I think I had the opportunity to, but I guess I wouldn't have been able to go into Draco Future either. And he's playing a zombie deck, so if he can't use any zombie effects, then what is he doing? Also kind of cool that this is very niche, right? Normally it doesn't get this attack boost for most decks. Although I guess in, I don't know. I'm trying to think of Tearlament. I think they're all darks. Maybe, I think they're all dark. So yeah, that attack boost is pretty good, especially in this deck, right? All water monsters. The whole deck is water monsters. Kind of fun, but let me know what you guys think about this variant of the deck in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.